As I said in the introductory video, this is a method that you have actually learned before. And so this is just to remind you guys, to refresh your minds on how this works, in case you have forgotten. But I trust that you have actually not forgotten. This is something that you guys have now in your bloodstream, you know, so to say. So if you've got x squared minus y squared as it is in this case, you know you will definitely have two brackets. In one bracket, you will have a positive sign. In another bracket, you'll have a negative sign, meaning the opposite sign. You could start with a negative sign and a positive sign. It's really up to you. It doesn't matter. What's important, what's fundamental, you look at your first term and you ask yourself, what is the square root of x squared? Well, that's x. So you're going to have an x here. What's the square root of y squared? Is y. Okay, we just take the positive answer. It's truly speaking plus minus x. Okay, and then here you're going to do the same thing there. Okay, and I'm mentioning that x aspect of square roots because it is going to come into play when we do more examples. Okay, so be very, very cautious. So finally, you can see this is factorized x plus y into x minus y. And you know, you check your answers by actually foiling, that is multiplying back to see if you get the original expression. So we know the drill. It is going to be the same thing here. The square root of a squared is a, and then minus b into a plus b. And once again, you can see what I have done here. I have started with the negative sign in the first bracket, and I'm using the positive sign in the second bracket to show you guys that it does not really matter which sign you start with. The principle is if you started with one sign in the other bracket, you must have the opposite sign in the next bracket. That is the essence of this. Now, one of the questions that really become tricky for learners is the one such as this 198 squared minus 197 squared. And learners start to punch calculators and they get big numbers and everything just becomes a little bit confusing. What you've got to see here, guys, you've got to look at this 198 as an A or X, and then 197 as a B or Y, as in the previous examples. And so you will see that this follows nicely. This is 198 minus a 197 into 198 plus 197. Now you see you have something very nice that you can actually work with. There's no need to stress anymore about those big numbers that you get when you add. So you know now the difference here is just 1. So your answer actually is going to be 395, which is basically the sum of those two. Very easy numbers to add. Let us look at more complex examples, meaning compound examples that need you to do a little bit of thought before you get to the final answer. I have here, once again, 3 sums before I give you sums to try on your own. So again, we know it's difference of 2 squares. And what makes us to realize that is, first of all, there's 2 terms. It's a binomial here. And we can see that then numbers or variables involved are actually perfect squares. So square root of 4, for example, is a 2. Square root of a squared is an a minus, that's a b. So 2a, I must have the opposite sign. So this is plus b. Done. The same thing here will happen. You must know your squares, guys, and your cubes, by the way. When you're in grade 10, know them at least up to 15, the number 15. So square root of 81 is 9. Square root of a squared is an a minus, then square root of b squared is a b, square root of c squared is a c. Now, because I started with a minus, here I need a plus. Easy, straightforward. Finally, same thing here, square root of 16 is 4, square root of 25 is 5, square root of x squared is x. I started with a minus, I'm gonna end with a plus in the other bracket. And just like that, you start to have fun and enjoy mathematics. All right, I'll leave it here. After all, at the end of the day, you are the one who's going to do the math and not me in that exam paper. So go ahead, try these 6 problems. Only 6, just 6, so to say. Stay tuned. Next video, we're starting to now move up, level up by looking at quadratic trinomials. Stay tuned.